From IBM TV, International Broadcast Media, this is your report from Washington. The Republican National Convention opened last night with an appeal to the, quote, forgotten middle class and a broadside against unions, arguing that they are destructive to the fabric of society. Speaker after speaker painted a bleak picture of the future under Democratic leadership. Florida Republican Matt Gaetz put the argument bluntly. Joe Biden and the Democrats are warmongers who blame America first rather than putting America first. The Republican speakers blamed Joe Biden for gun violence, crime, urban violence, mobs in the streets, and a plan to abolish American suburbs. The Republican speakers pressed their attacks on Biden and the Democrats, accusing them of being weak on China, wanting to raise American taxes, and the elimination of oil jobs. The Republican speakers also leveled charges that Biden and the Democrats were hostile to the American military, hostile to gun owners' rights, protective of lawless urban centers, and secretly harboring a plan to defund the police. The Republican speakers painted a picture of Joe Biden as beholden to the progressive wing of the Democratic Party on issues of health care, stating that Joe Biden was in favor of socialized medicine, which would result in rationing of medical care, loss of doctors, and death. In contrast, the Republican speakers, both regular Americans and elected officials, sought to humanize Donald Trump with stories of personal phone calls to those who were grieving, the administration's greenlighting of experimental medical treatments, and the increased use of telehealth programs to deliver medical attention to Americans in rural communities. The Republicans also sought to highlight Donald Trump's achievements, citing the new trade agreement between Canada, Mexico, and the United States, support for school choice, a military buildup, the return of hostages, and appointments to the United States Supreme Court. At times, the praise seemed surreal, with ordinary Americans heaping praise on the president, comparing Donald Trump to the fictional character George Bailey from the movie It's a Wonderful Life, stating, quote, "You gave up your life to save us," end quote. Nevertheless, throughout the course of the evening, several African American speakers appealed directly to the African American community with an up by your bootstrap stories of achievement. In the end, day one of the Republican convention was God, guns, country, and the American flag versus anarchy and socialism. In other news, it was a contentious hearing on Capitol Hill over the Postal Service. The Postmaster General promised to ensure that mail would be delivered on time, but refused to roll back any of the changes that have already taken place. The $25 billion House emergency funding measure was ignored by the Senate. There were no signs of any movement on the comprehensive COVID-19 relief package, which is still pending before the Senate. That is your report for this day, August 25th, 2020. From IBM TV, International Broadcast Media, Smart TV for a smarter global community, from dictatorships to democracies around the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. I'm Bill Trezevant. Thank you.